Having additional money available to you is one of the finest pleasures in the world. It can be the result of a birthday or graduation gift, a tax refund from the previous year, or just the fact that you spent less money last month than you were paid. It's nice to have this additional money, but only if you utilize it wisely. You see, when people receive a windfall, they often view it differently than when they earn money through a job, which might lead them to spend it on unnecessary products. However, spending over your means will never help you improve your financial situation. That is why I will share 7 ways to use an extra $1,000. You now have an additional $1,000. You're in a fantastic position to choose a prudent course of action. I want to go through 7 reasonable methods to spend that money, the first 4 of which are necessities that must be met at any costs, and the remaining 3 of which are optional. Nonetheless, all 7 of them have the potential to improve your financial situation compared to where it is now. So let's get started. Number 1. Reduce debt. Although purchasing a new phone or gaming system is more thrilling, this first practice could really be the most financially advantageous way to spend your additional $1,000. What I advise is allocating this money on your highest interest debt, which for many individuals is the balance on their credit cards. You see, because they are backed by collateral obligations like house loans and auto loans, it typically have low interest rate. Therefore, it won't be as expensive to keep carrying these debt loads as it would be to keep using your credit cards. Credit card debt is given a very high priority since the average interest rate in the US is above 17%. Like I mentioned, paying off debt isn't really thrilling, but it is a terrific way to stretch that additional income. Number 2. Having an emergency fund. Everyone needs an emergency fund. And even though I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it again. While the quantity of this fund may vary from person to person, it is true that all of us are prone to emergency situations. And regrettably, these situations frequently include a financial component. You never know when you'll need to come up with money quickly, from getting wounded and needing to travel to the hospital to having your car break down. What I suggest is that you put it in a high return savings account. These days, accounts with banks like CIT Bank may earn between 1.5 and 2.5% interest, which would enable you to at least stay up with inflation. Savings accounts are 100% liquid and FDIC guaranteed, allowing you to access your money right away during an emergency. Your emergency fund, however, is not only for savings accounts. To reduce the opportunity cost of maintaining so much money in relatively low return accounts, some people maintain many layers of accounts from which they may withdraw in an emergency. Number 3. Prepare your retirement fund. While you might want to spend and enjoy that $1,000 right away, I'm sure your future self would appreciate it if you invested it for retirement. Everyone needs to save for retirement just as everyone needs an emergency fund. You'll eventually reach a point when you're unable or unwilling to work anymore. And with a rise in older people being forced out of their positions, we all have less choice over when we retire than we would think. Number 4. Create a passive income source. Do you recall the legend of the golden goose who hatched the golden egg each day? That's exactly the way passive income operates. You purchase an investment that continues to provide money for you month after month, year after year, until you have enough golden geese that you can quit your day job. That is the secret to financial independence. Creating sufficient passive revenue sources to cover all of your expenses. Money comes in while you're asleep, watching TV, or drinking with your friends. Bonds, rental properties, gifts, profits from stocks, enterprises, and many more sources can provide this passive income. Number 5. Saving for a down payment. If you have not already, there's a good chance you'll buy a house eventually. Even so, not everyone is suited for home ownership. It is a fantastic tool to utilize for either living in, enjoying, or renting out to generate some additional money. Unfortunately, the bank will only lend you a certain amount of money when you decide to buy a house, so you will have to pay at least a portion of the buying price. This is the time that you'll realize why saving for a down payment is important. You see, There are guidelines to follow while applying for a mortgage. In general, you may put down as little as 5% when buying a home, but there are certain disadvantages to doing this, which I'd like to discuss briefly. First off, a lesser down payment will result in higher monthly mortgage payments, which will limit your cash flow and make it more difficult to pay for your other expenditures. Second, you will be subject to private mortgage insurance or PMI, which will be an additional expense you must pay in the purchase price of your house if you put less than 20% of the property's purchase price down. Finally, increasing your mortgage size will require you to pay more interest over time, which is money you will never get back. This is why it makes sense to make a larger down payment on a house. With the additional $1,000 you have, you can start investing it in your down payment safety net right now. Number 6, upgrade your health insurance. I'm a firm believer that being healthy is the key to having a bountiful life. It is also a well known but sad fact that our health will inevitably deteriorate as we age. Fortunately, health insurance exists to help reduce our health expenses, but not everyone can benefit from this. Increasing your coverage may be a smart idea right now if you just have basic health insurance, or worse, none at all. Until the universe shows us otherwise, we should all believe that we are invulnerable. Open a health savings account to save money tax-free to complement a high deductible and conventional insurance plan. In actuality, HSAs provide triple tax protection and the biggest tax advantage of any tax-sheltered accounts. Your donations are tax-deductible, your investments grow tax-free, and withdrawals utilized for medical costs are tax-free. Number 7. Investing in yourself. The last possible use for your extra $1,000 is to make an investment in yourself. While we frequently look outside of ourselves when making financial decisions, there is no question that investing in your most precious asset, yourself, is an excellent financial move. I previously invested in myself in a variety of ways, such as by purchasing books, attending conferences, enrolling in courses, or raising my educational bar. The fact that you may greatly increase your present skill set for $1,000 makes these possibilities for self-improvement so attainable. The majority of books cost less than $25, and many conferences can be attended for just a few $100s. Previous books I've read have fundamentally altered the way I live my life, both professionally and personally. Making an investment in yourself may help you develop your networking skills, expand your business, and increase your income.